sit because Casper is going to sit down because his head will be in front of Roka.
Just like the right angle.
This is first time. They needed 230 watts.
I couldn't have wished for a better. It's tilted so it's because Casper is going to sit down. You see?
Station that's at the top of the hill, called the Black Shop. Yeah. Especially the very nice paint job.
So how does it produce 3D?
Yeah,
Well, it's actually,
that perception.
to tell you, it isn't actually really 3D. It's 2D so then human brain thinks it's 3D. You can't really see the data.
Because it's, if you look at it now, you can really see it's floating.
Yeah.
You also see yourself like
3D. Yeah. I know.
So that's actually the same thing.
You really think that's a loss?
So we just use a special yeah, whatever. It's actually now positioned for people that are
Interactive network and
You were right. You were right. Still.
Do I give one to the judges as well?
The judges.
We can settle down, we can start the afternoon session. This morning's group exhausted our MC so much that we have been replaced by a much nicer person. Tara Wheeler will be the judges here, so let's begin. I'll turn the mic over to Tara. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Bob told me how brilliant all of you students are. I had the pleasure of talking to a few of you all at lunch. It's my pleasure and privilege to be here and see you bright, brilliant entrepreneur ideas. I wanted to give a quick reminder, this People's Choice Award, make your vote until you see all of the teams. Some of you have been asking whether or not you can vote for the best, so if you believe that your team's presentation and product is the best, then you can vote for yourself. But be sure to give it to Lindsay or Christine. As you leave, I'll give you another reminder at the very end if needed. I also want to make a quick mention of our judges who have been so kind to take all of the... I find it in my book. Let's please write Juanarina.
That's correct.
He's a serial entrepreneur. Thank you for entrepreneurship in the College of Business at JMU. Charles Pennington, the president of Tech Lab Incorporated. Robert, senior managing director and chief investment officer for Third Security. President and founder of Interactive Design and Development Incorporated. And finally, let's show our appreciation to Dr. Dan Sable, founder and CEO of VPT Incorporated. And now let's welcome Believe in 3D from Belgium. I'm going to try my best with the names. And Casper Supre.
I'm studying applied economics and Willem is studying 3D. VR3D offers a interactive holographic display that will be used at professional exhibitions. As you know, after wandering around for some time, it can become pretty boring. There's several flat screens. Nowadays, they are commonly used to draw the attention. Also, look at this picture. You'll notice there are even 7 of them. And displays. So this calls for a new way to draw the attention. And that's where VR3D comes in. VR3D is an abbreviation for Believe in 3D. A holographic display that is very easy. If you think this has many applications, and to start a conversation with your customers. If you think this is something out of the movies.
So we're going to show you our last prototype, our final prototype now. It has been a hellish job to getting it through custom. We made it. So you can, it's a self-designed car. You can swipe around, turning it left, and even change the color by swiping up. Yeah. And
we actually already have a couple of weeks. They will be using it at one of their exhibitions to demonstrate their product. Toba is a very big company and it has an annual revenue of about $1 billion. A very cool way to display their products, and we will be replacing their products. So first I have to explain what Tomra is. Tomra is a very big company from all over the world just to display their products, to show them off, and demonstrate how the product is developed and how you can take. We will be replacing their products by an interactive display. It will save them money, it will save them time. It's a really cool way to draw the attention, so it will raise their sales.
Talking to various companies who have been attending exhibitions a lot, with designers to design their booths on the exhibitions. So that's why we have decided to set up the booths themselves. It's also very easy to use our software, Evry, and some standard 3D like CAD files and extensions. And so it's really easy to interact, just uploading. So if you take a quick look at the market, in the Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg market, called the Benelux market, every year. So 70% of these companies, about 35% of their total budget for license on their booth. If you multiplicate these numbers of $170 million a year in the Benelux. So why would people buy in Denmark? You have Real Fiction in Denmark, and you have Holovat in Taiwan, $12 to $30 million a year. And so they only offer static holograms like this one, just turning around, but you can't do anything more with it. An advantage on the competition. So, optional software and some hardware. The hardware will be very similar to this, some basic tools where you can just upload the contents to the hardware. If you want interaction, we have a yearly software license, support included in the yearly software license. So if you want the interaction, you need to pay us a recurrent revenue every year. So this is our team. I'm Jan Willem, I'm the engineer, and that's we are supported by Ruben, who does all the hardware at Vincent, who has been a PhD student for 4 years now, in software and cameras.
So we will also make a larger hologram, and at the end of 2013, we will hire additional sales team. We will be break even, and we are currently developing a new product, a new display, the evolving software. So let's take a look at some exciting stuff in the future, and you can interact with it. Soon it will be possible to very easily our PowerPoints, and we will extend our library of currently we are display because it's a vapor display and you can really touch the object, you can move it around, and it's based on technology using a projector, projecting on a thin layer of, I think it's a really cool way to draw the attention. Hardware is changing, the software stays the same or will be improved.
If you look at our revenue projections, in the first year, $1,000. In the second year, $1.1 million revenue. Doing this, we will reach 1% of the Benelux market successful business. We also have some partners. We have the University of Ghent as a partner because we have a permanent exclusive IP license and on the PhD research that is used for this sort of interaction. And shipping partners already that make it it's very easy for us. So, last but not least, I want to there you have like anatomy lessons where you can read and you can really like touch the organs and so. And you also have like a preview for the 3D printing market. So I thank you for your attention, and I'm very excited.
First off, how customizable are the interactions with the model, and then is that given to you by the client?
So we obviously use. So at this point you have the swiping abilities, so left to right. So it's like thumbs up and the 2 fingers or 3 fingers. So at this phase around those gestures, but this is actually to like open doors in cars, like detect this gesture and be able to open. The question was about
Who develops the model?
Yeah, we don't develop the models ourselves. So we actually try to make a standard and easily be which can easily implicate actions on the models.
I just want the box and selling the software.
Yeah.
And as a customer, could you step me through the sales process?
Yes. Package of hardware and some non-interactive software that costs for hologram which is this large. For a hologram like really person large, it will be more because also we have the price for the interaction.
Okay, and so that's, I pay that one time?
Yeah, you pay that one time and you get a warranty until you have the hardware and you can just play with it.
I'm going to continue with Carol's question here on the $4,500 display or not.
It includes the hardware module, it even includes also a camera, but it doesn't include the software used for the interaction, which will give us a recurrent revenue.
Okay, so you basically lease of the hardware, and you pay this fee per year.
Yeah, because we do it this way because some people are interested in, so it's interesting to sell them art because some people only just want a static hologram moving around with their machine or something, just as an attention. It fulfills two purposes. You have an attention to really do your sales with it, so you can tell your story. Yeah, this is this. You can see them really.
So let me ask you a question. You know, I spent a lot of weeks at trade shows in my career, more so than I like to remember. And obviously, it's something. You know, I saw your roll up of how your market size, but I mean, have people help you kind of validate the number of these displays?
I tried to do a market study, but it was very hard to find good figures because they sell them. So about in the exhibitions that are like this, and it costs like $5,000 or $6,000 to buy a book, and then you have this book with all the figures in it, and then probably yeah, I did this study with the things I
too far, invest too much money. You probably want to just pay that. These $5,000 to $10,000 you would spend.
This slide actually just signifies the.
So this box here, what is the cost?
We have a 50% margin, so yeah, it's a yes.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. So maybe you can elaborate. In your projections, you're talking about selling at least 100 of these in 2014. $550,000, dollars or euros. So can you talk more about how you're going to sell that many in the first 12 months of the rollout? And also maybe talk about, just quickly.
First, we hope to get some big sales contract. Yeah, you have actually two revenue streams that probably buy our product to rent it out themselves because that's how the market works. And then you also have big companies like Tomra, that want to buy the products themselves because they do, so they need more than one. Actually, in November, they're buying 3 of the tryout, so that's actually a small group. So, yeah, I need some bigger companies to buy more than one, and that's why I expect to get 100 the first time.
Other questions from the audience?
Also, boot designers, and then them out. They need to buy more than one. There are many boot designers. That's how.
Okay, some questions from the audience. Hand gesture input device for $80.
Yeah.
If I combine that with $300.
We actually developed the software ourselves. So if you buy Motion, there's software developed at this point. So if you look at a movie from Motion, but that's not the case. So really detecting certain gesture, artificial intelligent algorithms. So it's really state-of-the-art research that we're using to detect certain gestures, swipe movements and hand motion, but to really be able to take something, however, you really have to depend on state-of-the-art algorithms and being brought to the market just yet.
Okay.
That's it.
One more. Okay. I guess there's another compete.
It's actually the same story. Kinect, only meters from it. So that isn't really what we're looking for. Also, it detects full blocks of hands, so you really can't detect any gestures. So it's actually the cameras. Well, it's not the cameras. The cameras good enough for the applications you wanted.
Star from China. Team members are Zheng Yuguo and Yi Zhu. Judges and dear fellows, we're Speedstar. We come from Shanghai, China. Here to introduce you. Our business concept is 30 hours really. And our business concept is e-commerce platform. And our presentation gonna be 4-part. In competitive with our own warehouse, and the other 3 part is business instead. And in last year, and without a doubt, we're gonna be the first largest. And our online shopping market is quite different from yours. We have 6 million independent vendors operate on Taobao. Taobao is the 8% of the whole Italian market share. And that is because the massive number of vendors that guarantees they are online. For example, if we search for women's likes, you have 32 million. No matter how picky you are, I'm sure you're gonna find one suit you. Fast delivery is also very important to our Chinese people because online and offline is really large. You can see it's about 30% going to brick and mortar store. So fast delivery is really that is because 6 million vendors fragmented. Unlike Amazon, who dominate the whole supply chain, our supply chain is fragmented. There's no skill economy. So here comes ours. And to better understand our customer, our potential customer, and you can see this is their warehouse. Real life they're facing now. You see the guy just get crazy. Shipment, ground delivery, oversold problems. So they are eager to solve all these problems to catch up with the. Compared to their own big warehouse, we could dance professional and we can shorter the shipping time. At warehouse, we're more professional. We are capable to dealing with during Singles Day. Singles Day is the biggest promotion day in China. It's something like your Cyber Monday. And you see the shipments 27 million per day to 100 million per day just in grocery. Very explosive. And they want to seek help themselves from their mass warehouse so they can focus on their core competence. And we located ourselves at the mid warehouse and the packing and shipping service for the vendors. And then our cost and profit structure. We charge service fee, which include storage fee, express fee, and profit from vendors, and we pay only. And the net margin is where our profit comes from. And also to ensure the timely payment collection, we alliance with Taobao. Taobao owns Alipay. Alipay is something equivalent to PayPal. So once transaction done by the vendors, Alipay will give us our service fee first. So, and let's look at our market size. Our target customer. We want to begin with apparel industry because it witnessed the biggest online about 30%. So, and we also choose vendors as our target customers. So through our research, you can see we have potential customers. And from the perspective of volume, we're gonna have here, and it shows a strong growth because thanks to the growth, here is our competitive advantage. Compared to our competitors and better service at lower price, we can downsize 30 to 40% of the cost. So you must just say it. No, we have four factor advantage: support of Taobao advanced information system, partial automation. Support of Taobao. Taobao now is facing fierce competition since the commerce company has entered the Chinese market. And this man, he's a hero of our Chinese. He's a hero to us, like yours, but you use his computer, right? So he created the kingdom. His dream is to improve the efficiency of the whole e-commerce supply chain. Invested $6 billion into this industry to improve the efficiency. We want to grasp the opportunity, work hard, and through some networks, we have alliance the partnership with Taobao platform. So it allows us to develop our own information system. Give you details of our intellectual property.
Sure, it's my pleasure. Okay, for the technology part, and there are no connection between the Taobao marketplace platform and the software vendor always need to reorder into their own ERP manually. The beauty will be very happy with the orders, and as their business is growing faster and faster, it will go crazy as there's too many orders into their own ERP system. So we are going to solve this problem for just develop an order management system. It's used to our warehouse management system as our WMS with us. So we just create a bridge between Taobao and accurate about the order information and the inventory information. So just like we saw in the previous page, we use some and we also employ some additional cloud resource for big data handling. Okay, and this is our warehouse. The composed line is the storage area. It's used to manage for the partially automated with a fork-filled truck. For the picking area, it is used to do some work like most of the work in this area is done by labor and cheap labor in China. So speed star, that's the paper rack. Just like shows here, and we welcome. Hey man, watch out your pants, please. And this is made from paper, and it will be very easy to assemble, and disassemble just done recycling. And owing to it is the big sales. Okay, just assembled in this way and. With good flexibility. Structure of SpeedStar, and we have Xi Li, our CEO, our boss. She made warehouse manager phone just to place the paper there. He majors in accounting, and Sheng Yu, that's me, majors in software. And we can also seek help from Professor Xie. He's an expert in logistics, and we are also supported by China Logistics Research and Training. It's an affiliate of our university, and with the help of those, managed to connect to Taobao site and have got great support from them.
That is market entry. We plan to build our first benchmark warehouse in Trento. And here's our financial data. You can see. Remember, since we have guaranteed payback collection, so our still at the 5th month we're gonna make profit, and 10th month our calculated funding required. That's also why we came here. We requested your dollars and to start up our business. And through
Excuse me, I have to stop you. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And this attention. That's all. Thank you.
Let me just ask, what competitive advantage?
You mean the Taobao can do?
Yeah. Why does the Taobao do what you're?
In China, Taobao's market share is diminishing, although it comes in other marketplaces like Amazon and some other B2C. So if we do the warehouse thing, the whole efficiency gonna improve, and they can download their cost since the e-vendors are responsible for the shipment, and also the centralized the emerging market B2C marketplace now since it's fragmented. So with us, they're gonna be more competitive.
So if I understand, with Mecca systems, correct?
We're gonna lease a warehouse.
Yeah, that was my question. I wasn't sure if you had found space and where they were available to you. Can you find warehouse space in location?
We have found, in Shanghai there is an e-commerce, so they have lots of that storage warehouse. But since they didn't have advanced information system and their
Others?
Can you talk just a little bit about your startup space in the warehouse? So in order to be able to start bringing in your customer requirements in your first 12 months.
Okay, we will show you our expense financial statement. We have.
Our expenses are divided into actually 4 parts, and the second is the warehouse running cost, including the computer of our workers and other expenses, and the third part is the fixed investment of our back office, and the last. And so our total fixed cost is about $1,000.
Other questions?
Is that clear? So you mean the supply chain? Yeah. One payment solution, Alipay, I said is equivalent to PayPal. Before he gives the money to the vendors, he have to give us our service. We don't like that. Otherwise, we got.
Someone?
So, from here, immediate investment to get started?
Not actually, since we don't. So our staff will not be that much, and our expense will be not that much. So maybe we need 50% of it.
Maybe you said this in your presentation, maybe I missed it. I apologize if I did. Okay, about how you might raise that money? Will you have your partnership with would you raise it in private equity, meaning individual investors, or how?
Thank you for your question. We're gonna show you our plans. One part from this is student fund because Chinese government knows, so it's easy to apply from some fund because we are partners, so they're gonna give us some support, investment from friends or family or fields. And then social capital also concludes your funding. Thank you.
Do we have questions?
Yeah, a couple of questions. You have a prototype of your product / software.
It has given us their data interface. So we have a prototype. It's used to connect to the warehouse management system. So it's not. And we have the prototype and it works, and we also do some stress testing on it because there are a lot of the big sales to deal with. So we have also done some stress testing on our software. But we don't know how to show it just.
If you're interested, you want to invest in us, then we can.
Not like the paper rack, this the virtual things. I don't know.
Is this the one standard size that you have? That I guess it fits apparel items, or do you have?
Considering seasonality. For in the winter, the clothes will one pack our patent shelf here. Since we have to 30 hours. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Have any more? Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Our next presenters are GraphInsight from Italy, Michele Dalla Chiesa, Alice Porra.
Hello, can you hear me in the back? So, hello network. We are GraphInsight team from Italy, PhD student in computer science. The entire team includes myself, CFO with Masters in Innovation Management. Network data exploration with big data. What is big data and why important is big data? That even an NSA program taps every traffic. This is you. These are the emails you sent yesterday and today. And these are the rest of the emails you're going to send tomorrow. About 7 billion people creating 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. This is the big data. Who is the main influencer in the network? Who has got the most connections? And many more questions. GraphInsight is a cloud application as a service for people to visualize connections and networks and to understand and explore the graphs. From databases directly onto the web-based tool, and in the visualization field, you manipulate 3D structures and navigate through the network easily to reveal hidden properties of complex data. 3D, clear, and interactive network visualization tool. So now let's put GraphInsight in practice. We take the data set and we load it into two tools. GraphInsight itself, and our purpose of analysis is to understand GraphInsight positioning in the network, its strongest competitor. So the workflow is upload data, cover the strongest neighbor. The video has been split up for ease of exposition. While data is still being loaded on GEFI, look up GraphInsight in the GraphInsight tool is intuitive. Physical views, while in GEFI it asks for additional efforts between switching hidden in the context menu. Now we navigate through the network. In GraphInsight you need cognitive overload thanks to textual labels. While in GEFI, navigation asks for additional effort and implementation of proprietary algorithms. The web-based tool has an interface and visual 3D advantage. Here we can insight and GEFI. Let's look at the value behind this red umbrella in the corner. We analyzed GraphInsight's own market, mentioned already. So here we can see the connections between GraphInsight's visualized. The competitors' fast research allowed Excel in the market, and they were discovered by the tool. They shared the same followers, depending on the number of connections, while the distance shows the similar followers. So the tool allows us hypothesis making, discover hidden information and pattern, reason our decision making, singularities. Here we can see competitors' positioning in the market, and GEFI are the standard tools for networks visualizations with the large graphs. And also in general, they lag. Current networks visualization and data analytics market is estimated 10% annual growth, reaching around $65 billion in adoption rate of computer-human interaction technologies for augmented reality technologies are becoming more popular and widely adopted. It has been downloaded more than 600 times by our users. We have ongoing partnerships and collaborations with the company's workspace design and market research fields. To name few, Media, Conatics as our customers, Millennia, EAT Labs as our partners. Our strategy is twofold. So currently we are entering the market as the generic graphic visualizations, thanks to our partnerships with Millennia and click-and tool to traditional statistics to enable visual thinking to make your with more than 40 of global 2,000 companies a year. We offer basic and pro versions of the tool, which differ. In the second phase, we introduce vertical GraphInsight solutions to our partnership with Delta Informatica. More than 1 million, with around 37,000 monthly fraud attacks, need GraphInsight. We also offer basic and pro versions of monthly subscription model for our pricing. So, basic subscriptions are priced $600 a month for generic GraphInsight solution. For fraud network analysis is priced respectively $2,000, and organizations and training services are offered separately. We apply within the 3 months of activity. Our competitors 70% in number of subscriptions just in the last 2 years. To acquire less than 1% of our targeted customers and the revenues of $260,000. $1 million in the second year of activity, resulting from 500. We can see our profit and loss estimations with a positive cash flow starting at the second year. We look for investment to cover the initial expenses in exchange of 10 value of the company equal to $1.6 million in the higher value proposition to our customers. We consider the exit of the company. With the revenues of $13 million, the value of the company is estimated between $111 and return of $150,000, $7 million. So currently we have working GraphInsight prototype. We plan to release GraphInsight for business intelligence in 3 months development. Last but not least, we count on a model. Thank you, thanks to our users, and make sense out of your data.
University research, or how did you get to where you are?
So basically, I started to work on this project before starting with the systems, but other stuff. And then this project just continued to, and even if I don't have allocated so much time during my PhD, this is how everything started.
Okay, so this was kind of tangential or on the side of your PhD, or
yeah,
central to your PhD? You were using this kind of tech. I'm sorry, yeah. So this was part of your PhD. Okay. So I'm going to ask a couple more questions here. So in the universities, when you develop things, as right to that intellectual property, or is it outside of the university?
So it is. But since this project started before, actually I started the PhD. It is. I looked at the project. Oh, look, this is interesting. Let's support these guys.
Property, it's your intellectual property.
Right.
So, what code base, what languages do you use to develop?
So this is C++, and Python.
With the cloud-based technologies and cloud applications.
The software we have to install and download. But we are now moving all the application. We are planning to do this using WebGL technology. So basically, we translate it to the web. So
right.
This is how it will look like.
So do customers subscription or license fee, and then they would download it to their cloud to do the product. It would be resident in somebody's data center.
Sure. Get to our customers in the cloud. So it's Millennium. It's one of our partners. That's part of the Oracle ecosystem, business intelligence applications. They need network visualization. Well, I would say network visualization to our host company here at Evry. So actually, most of the infrastructure is based on Salesforce now. And they have our application in 2 Salesforce.
Yes, students from Virginia Tech. And so they want to analyze their
yeah, for example, in this particular case, they have donors based on their data, own data. But now they would like to use a visual tool.
glad you're working with a VT spinoff.
How is your product different from what your target market currently?
Okay, here we are. So basically, who's visualizing the networks? These applications explore data interactively and actively day to day. But to represent the data is a nice way, and then just the output is a PDF for day to day use case. So this is the main difference.
I don't think how old is it, and so if they saturated the market or the competitor that you identified.
Okay, so Getty, and so just the last year, is the founders of a new company, and they try to move their technology to the web. And not Excel, this is basically Microsoft Research, and they're a research company based in Europe. So that's the background.
Anybody else? Do we have questions from the audience?
Protection of the algorithms are very similar to many operational systems in proteins. USP, I'm not sure I understand that very well.
Biological networks. This is a large project, but anyway, an American organization. And, but it is very similar to the tool we saw already. It's not very interactive in how you use it. So yeah, that's the tool.
So do you see bioinformatics as a big market, potential market for your product?
It is, but it's so far away from my background that it's some people that would like to sell a product in that market, but I don't feel directions.
And could you explain the twofold go-to-market strategy?
So this slide. So where are we now? We are more closer to this generic application. A very nice prototype, but it's very, can be used, there are no specific features, just for one particular application area. It's a very huge market. And then, thanks to our partnership with Delta Informatica, we plan to enter one of the most interesting markets. And this takes more time. We have to add features, we have to, in my background, so I'm quite familiar with this kind of applications. So, to move to verticalization.
Thank you.
It is time for our afternoon break. I'd like you all back here at 2:45. Piece of paper and think about who your top teams and enjoy the 20-minute break.
Yeah, that last one.
Yeah, perfect. Down and popping this one, and then it gets in there. Thank you. Oh no, I just when I thought I had it.
It's phosphoric acid. Well,
Yes, you know, sometimes when there's like breaks it up and pauses, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
What kind of snack is this?
and you're going to teach your kids the same way.
Oh no, we only have one.
The first time we were bringing these sorts of when it's finished.
No, I know.
Nice. No idea how he figured it out. Just no idea how he decided he wanted to go make. And then about a year. Sorry.
What time are we going to ask?
Excuse me?
Scott is...
I know what he's sort of what he's doing, but not
He's doing some
really.
consulting for a couple of different startups here at the. I know an acupuncturist and I walked in with a little like college T-shirt, and he looked like he was having the best time. He said,
so.
Just like he told me, he's like, you need to figure something out inside of a year. But right now, he's doing some consulting, doing all these.
But he's not trying to form a firm. I assume that's where he's going.
He'll have to leave the region to do that.
Well, RTP's in that far.
So I think you got a consultant.
I mean, we don't really.
You know, like a big pharma or biotech or whatever.
But I did.
Yeah, yeah, they're in New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. RTP's got to be better.
Well, when I saw him last night,
yeah, it's good for you to know though.
I didn't want to see that side chick. I'm the same way. When I'm like on the t-shirt.
I wind up being in shorts and I wonder on Sunday afternoon. I did that because I was going to cut the grass, but I never got to that part of it. All right, let me go get the trooper. Thank you very much.
The presenters are from Malaysia. Their product is EZ. Welcome team members Nur, Anusaha, Binti Bonur, Nurul, Afika, Binti, and Kim Wee-Win.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. How was the break? So first of all, we would like to thank the VTK Knowledge wonderful venue for this competition. Also, we would like to thank the judges, everyone who made this event a success. The cooperation from Malaysia and with care and color your life. We plan to environmentally and friendly pigments from microorganisms. Pigments or colors are fabrics, garments, paints, plus colored by pigments from our first set of daily life of our adult life. Yeah, fashion in essence. Can you imagine a world without color? That would be boring. Yeah. So our business is to create natural pigments from safe organisms. At the beginning, we are capable of two most common used colors, which are red and blue. This is our very capable management and technical team. So the global market demand for pigment is in 2013. The demand is approximately growing to $1.5 billion in the next 5 years. Increased demand is due to the increased buying power of the people worldwide. The business model to attract this growing market. Why does the marketplace need microorganisms? Our microbiota only profitably at $84 per with this high quality synthetic pigments. Currently, we plan to attack the textile industry. First, from our research, it shows that our products seem to work. Also, it also has a substantial local market in Malaysia. Much of the yarn for textile production centers. The bulk of textile manufacture takes place in China, India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Easily and the most readily accessible market, and we have to start our business at home. So these are some where we can have for our initial sales efforts, initial testing, and some trial orders. Our plan is actually to utilize the low-cost strategy using the internet, such as email, e-commerce, and social, to get our product in front of the customers. We have also product interest on our product. We are also planning to list other e-commerce sites where our customers can forge partnership with Malaysian organizations associated with pigments and textiles. One of the part of the government where it acts similar, it provides us low cost, will even match any grant competition that we win this week if we are able to do so. So we need to have our own competitive advantage. Our focus workers as well as the environment. So these are some of the competitors that we have identified. A major benefit of the natural pigments is actually the the major benefits is their safety. So because banned by the EU and have been listed in the USTSCA, this type of synthetic pigments will definitely be very harmful to the human being. On the other hand, natural pigments like those does not carry any of this harmful impact, and it is safe to. For the environment, definitely natural pigment will have the advantage. They are complex organic molecules and they pollute the environment. On the other hand, natural pigment, that's why they is very much less harmful to the environment. Existing natural pigments derived from plants and insects. Bacterial pigments have very much high color fastness compared to much less complex manufacturing process compared to much shorter time to grow bacteria than to grow insects. We have patented our product and easy to an exclusive worldwide license.
Presentations. So let's take a look at the financial analysis. A customer in Malaysia, we believe we can get 2 to 5% of in the first 5 years. Okay, we predict we can get our break-even point just in 1 year. We plan to make money in the second year of our operation. This is our projected cash flow, and from our cash flow invested in just less than 3 years. Okay, to grow our business, we plan to increase our capacity by expansion. And once established domestically, by exporting our product to other textile producing countries. To fully fund our business startup, we are requesting $1 from partners and investors. We can be contact with any question or inquiries through this bacteria pigment offers substantial safety and environmental benefits with synthetic pigment without any of their disadvantages, and our background synthetic pigment and also carbon natural pigment based on okay, with that, so care about the workers and have a colorful world with easy and attention.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful presentation. A couple of questions. The biopigments, how do they last for, as long as synthetic pigments?
Basically, because pigment, they themselves is easily degradable, very much less time compared to the synthetic pigments to degrade.
Let's say a red shirt, will after like a couple of years it will fade.
Oh, that is about the color fastness.
Yes.
Yeah. Synthetic pigment exists if you compare existing natural pigments with our bacterial. The bacterial pigment have very high color fastness, as I mentioned, and the bacterial pigment is competitive with the synthetic pigments. Yeah.
Okay. And you very quickly said that you would try to patent something, or what exactly was patented?
The process for our pigment. Yeah, this is the, yeah.
And does this cover all colors?
2 colors that we have come up with, which are the red and blue colors.
I'm still trying to understand the product itself, so about synthetic pigment.
Okay, synthetic pigment itself, okay, they are one of the most harmful was azo dye, which it has the inside and with the benzene rings, everything in the molecules, the structure that will cause cancer. Yeah.
And that color?
Our pigment?
Like the synthetic one. In other words, I'm trying, it's been proven to be
okay, azo dye. Okay, I'm taking azo dye as one of the examples for the harmful synthetic pigments. Okay, azo dye is just a type of in our product now for this stage, because we are still are actually just the blue and red, and we are coming out, we are green. Yeah. So we only have these two colors of the synthetic pigments for the time being. Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful, thank you. I guess what I'm trying to validate manufacturers who want your product is the synthetic pigment. Are governments telling them they can't use it? How much pain to you instead of the synthetic?
Okay, like I mentioned, they might not have that much problem of the effects to the environment as well to the to the human being. They are synthetic pigments, and the effluent can be released to the river or the ocean. So for our natural pigment, because it is natural and it can be just directly released to the ocean or to the river on the effluent treatment. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you so much.
I was going to ask, but related to that, I think you said that you could produce kilogram. Was that sale price or your cost?
That's selling price.
That produce that same amount of material, and what are your profit margins?
Segment, so you can see the expenses. Can you see? Cost of goods sold is 60% of our sales, our selling price of milk. Actually, to grow bacteria is really expensive, but come up with a new concept, a cheap medium agriculture growth. Yeah.
Tons in sales. What does that equate to in terms of number of customers?
It is global demand in ton, and Asian market in ton is 47%. First is 2% of market, so we can get 59 ton.
Yeah, I was curious, how many customers do you have to secure to equate to 59 tons worth of product? What's a typical order?
How many people are you selling?
Excuse me, okay, I will have to answer this question. Okay, whether we are selling them, our pigments, to the big customers or and small customers. Maybe the big customers might order more tons, but then the small order less amount of pigments. Yeah, does that make sense?
One quick question about culture. Do you have to ferment to make a ton of dye or pigment? I mean, at some point, does your process get so much dye? How big of a fermenter do you need? How much bacterial paste do you have to harden?
We actually need a calculator if we answer how many kg of bacteria to produce 1 kg of pigment. Okay, so it is basically 1 to 6.
Okay. But how big is the fermenter to get that? I'm just thinking from a size and process standpoint.
Yes, because we are at the developing stage and we have yet to have our own, so we can yet to answer you that question.
Just sort of as an aside to that, are you're back to some color, or are you genetically modifying them with a construct to force them to?
From that kind of bacteria, there are 2 colors, black and zinc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Last question.
I understand that synthetic colors have some problems, and you want. I want to know the difference. If I am the manufacturer and I'm going to look at your product, what will the difference in cost be to me?
As the manufacturer of textile industry, the first are able to save on the treatment on me, since synthetic pig, our natural pig, and it is not harmful to the workers, there will be no problems with the workers and the medical expenses on the workers.
Okay, to go with natural colors than it is synthetic colors. Just I'm going to.
For the existing, the existing natural pigments those natural pigments are way much more expensive than the synthetic pigments. It's competitive with the high quality synthetic pigments. Yeah, we are, because with the low quality synthetic pigments, there are so many problems with them to treat their influence, and maybe and I can give you the fact for now. There are most of these because China doesn't really care and doesn't really concern about the environment and their people, and that's why and recent years they have started on this be more, and later they will be starting to have regulations and everything to settle these problems, and the low eliminated just like that.
I'm going to have to stop everybody. Come on down.
Our next team of presenters are from Australia. Their product is our Conchita de Souza, Janik Gonçalves, and Natalia Kruslovic.
During the day. My name is Conchita, and this is my team, Purity, Natalia, and Janik. And today, we're going to present to you our baby. So before I begin, I'm just going to set the agenda. I'm going to be talking about the Roka story, our type, and our competitors, and Natalia will explain the business and financial model story. A little while ago, I went to India, and I lived in a rural quarry community. And I was really women work 10 to 12 hours a day, breaking stone. Quarries, it's about 113, but it was here where I met this amazing woman, and her name was Rani. Rani has 3 children, and she knows that if they don't get a good education, they too are going to be breaking stone. Their idea. Roka is handcrafted jewellery made from quarries and it does 3 things. Roka gives the Australian customer an opportunity to connect with and to. It gives the Roka women an alternative source of income. So, we have developed an awesome spending. To tell you more about our market, we'll pass on to Preeti.
But we wanted to make sure that everyone else does too. So we took Roka to over. What we found was that people actually want to buy our product. And 80% of the participants said that they would actually buy a Roka product. Inclined to buy the product because of the story behind it and because of interested in buying the Roka product. They also want to buy the Roka story behind the demand. What we found is that Roka meets consumer needs, and the aesthetic need. Roka meets the increasingly prominent. Let's have a look at some of the major developments across time and space to connect with people in ways of the portal, which will take you across the world to share the. Today, consumers are also demanding a high level of transparency, produces sustained ethical practices. And through using your to a high level of transparency in a simple and accessible form, because your QR code will take you straight to a website on which you can access information about and the Roka making process. So what does our customer archetype look like? As we grow, we'll be developing products to suit different customer markets. But for now, we're focusing on the consumer market in the entry phase, and who lives in Sydney. She's socially aware and she has an interest in. And how many potential Roka customers do we have? In Sydney, there are over range between 20 to 29. And this is about 7% of the total. That in the first year of operation, we only need to hit 2% of this target, 600. But obviously, we share this target market with a number of competitors. Roka sits in 2 different industries: the jewelry retailing industry, and costume and handmade jewelry is a really large and really fragmented. Jewels can now easily enter the marketplace through online marketplace industry. It's in Australia, it's dominated by the fair trade retailers, the fastest growing in Australia across the world, and in the entry phase retailers, fair trade retailers across Australia. However, in the third year of our operation, we actually intend to make some of these fair trade retailers a distribution. How does Roka measure up against already existing retailers? Roka is packed with how many jewelry retailers and not-for-profit retailers can provide a community in which the product was made. Roka isn't just a network, women and the communities. I'm now going to hand it over to Natalia, who's going to tell you about how.
So, and we're at the stage where we're looking at sales and marketing. So this is our marketing. Utilize low-cost strategies, so mainly social media, our website, and direct such as Rotary, Girl Guides Australia, and Sheep Business. Our main distribution channels in this period are also going to be very low cost, so through our website, direct sales. When we enter the growth stage, which will be about the second of premium range, and we're going to look at investing into PR and advertising. We're also in the corporate gift sector once we reach full capacity. In production, year 3, the later stages of our growth phase, we're going to look into wholesaling. So at this point, through trade shows and industry events. So onto the financials per to make. So the landed cost is about $5, so that covers all the manufacturing, includes about $5 fulfillment cost. So that's cost of assemblage and distribution within for the first 3 years. So it is based on an average price. These projections are quite conservative. And as you can see, our major, but it only takes about 4,000 pieces for us to break even. So that means that we're accounting for a small profit in the first year of about 57 in the second year, once we start tapping into the corporate gift sector, and an additional 50% of the social impact that Roka actually has, based on our third year projected net profit of $350,000, 1,000 children in rural India for an entire year. Competencies are in place. We've done the initial training, we've done the product development, we have design management in Australia to develop the online component of our and marketing and sales is probably going to be our biggest challenge in entry, because as we're trying to do is seek strategic partnerships. So with and existing fair trade retailers such as Oxfam, who are going to be able to help us access the fair trade arena. Knowledge and experience in terms of tackling this kind of market. It's going to be headed up in India by a production manager and in Australia by a managing. The ones that I've already spoken about are going to be the 40K Foundation Australia, who currently provide. And so this is where a lot of the Roka pieces are going to go to sponsoring and subsidising the cost. Are going to be the quarries, because they're currently providing us with free granite dust, because it's actually a waste product of their manufacturing process, and as well obviously all product from India to Australia. We're also, like we said, entrepreneurial women's organisations and not-for-profit retailers to help us get started. So we are just looking to kickstart this whole process by getting some marketing, develop the online portion of our products, so the website and the QR code on the product launch, and the Christmas campaign, because we're hoping to actually start production at the production and hopefully start changing the lives of women and children in India. An investment in Rani, an investment in the education and the future of these children in India. Consumer have.
So I think you have an amazingly interesting, you see a need and a problem, and then you come back and build a business around it. Just maybe a couple questions. First, can you speak to, talk about that just for a second or two?
Okay, Jack, who is that most recent?
Yeah, so essentially students were volunteering in India. So as Chip said, we went as volunteers who basically made the solution to make a jewelry, a piece of jewelry in India. And so we just thought, when we came back, everyone's asking us, like, what did you do in India? And, oh wow, that's so amazing, like, how can we get involved? We have no way of basically giving them a way to help, which is a clear need, makes such a big difference. So essentially, Roka kind of feels like we have so many people asking us about these necklaces, and they're actually good. And we really trust that 40K is going to use these for really cost-effective apps. So we really feel that this could make a difference, and not only just on a small scale.
Yeah, can I ask, so what are you targeting to sell one of these necklaces for?
Yeah, sure. So the entry price is actually probably going to be around $30, $35 there, so that's the little pink design. And that costs much less than actually $10. The mandala design, which is the black one in front of you, the one that's made of macrame, it'll actually be priced somewhere much higher, so something about 70 Australian dollars. An example of what will come out in our premium range.
And so how much of that are you going to then pay the workers in India who are producing it?
Yeah, sure. The model is not only to reinvest in the community, but also per piece. At the moment, they are paid on average $1 a piece, and women work in groups of three items in an hour, so it's roughly about a piece per hour.
To keep in mind, I think it's $2 for one piece, which to us seems like a really wage in India, a really, not an average wage, a really good wage, is actually per hour. We're paying them 100 rupees per piece, so we're paying them really well, so that people can definitely be confident.
It's to the fair trade standards set by the Fair Trade Association.
Carol, did you have a question?
I like the production process and how these women are you providing the designs, just stepping through that production back to them.
Yeah, so obviously it's a very difficult process. I mean, some of these women, they essentially get less than $3 a day. So the concept of making jewelry, which to them has no money, is ridiculous. So we kind of have to train them in this whole new way of thinking that you can make money. They're really good at showing it to the next person. So just by showing one person and in a group, seeing the process of making the models. But we come up with the designs, and they actually...
Add to that, if I can tell you a personal story. So these women are just absolutely lovely, right? So we're training them up, and the first group have gone to training, and 2 jewelry designers over. And we gave them the gloves, and they looked at it, and they didn't know what to do with it. So they overcome, and to get these women to be confident in themselves, and to be able to realise that this is something they can do, and they can empower themselves.
Process as well. So in the long term, we're obviously design students who actually work with us as well. But in the future, this is to encourage enterprise within those local communities.
So it seemed to me your challenge would be getting someone to buy your jewelry the second, the third, the fourth. I think it's a slam dunk, but how do you keep them coming back?
Absolutely, and that relates to a lot of the product research. And in the figures, we had a lot of people in focus groups and in surveys as gifts. And in terms of customer retention, that's kind of where the online tracking comes into it. So what actually happens is in the packaging, you get a specific barcode, which gives information about the particular community where about, the women that are working there. It's information about how much employment has been made since being there. You can actually track the progress of the children in schools. By making it that person, encourage, long-term,
Just to add to that quickly, we also, through the online tracking, isn't just based on the jewelry. Through our surveys, we asked people if they were interested. They wanted to visit these communities. They wanted to volunteer in these communities. They wanted to like the Facebook, this jewelry model into a much bigger customer experience model. So it goes from jewelry to, potentially visit someone buys jewelry.
And just a really quick note, also we're putting a lot of designs, so pretty much it's seasonal, and the popular designs will keep for the next season, ones in the next year.
In terms of the design development sector, and that's because we've actually had quite a lot of interest from a request for an order of 2,000 pieces from the University of Technology in Sydney. The whole idea, the whole altruistic sentiment behind it, they have huge programs that go into community development. So that's an ongoing order in relation to them. It's obviously really great PR for them as well to sell that story.
I saw in your slide that you have a cooperative agreement with the owners of, but could you imagine that your business could grow? Are these women still, or are they doing this in the evening? Could there be a conflict eventually as the objectives of the owner of the query?
We've thought about that. So the reason we actually do it per piece, rather than this is all planned for this is an estimate based on them doing 2 hours for 4 days a week, and it's quite a simple process. So they can actually still work in the quarries, they can still do this. It's designed,
But it is potential, but I can make more making jewelry than I make all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of this is actually, the granite dust is a waste product for them. It actually saves them time so we cut the costs and expenses and transportation of them getting rid of all that kind of dust. So there is some mutual benefit for them as well. In terms of, because we don't have the product an exact answer, but obviously if it came to that, then we'd obviously have to negotiate. But because around rural India, the scale is so big, we can't see that it's going to make such a huge.
Let's do one question.
Okay, one question, and this is my cut, if they see all of a sudden these women making a profit on these.
The two biggest concerns are what will the husband think, because when their wife is earning more money, it turns out fine, because then the husband is getting more money. It's difficult to even, they don't understand that it's going to be profitable. We will have problems in the future regarding that, because the quarry owners will start being owned by the quarry owners. Say they can't even make shift huts, so no idea until this thing gets so big that you'll probably have no option really to deal with it.
Sorry, I was just going to say, in terms of wanting a cut, it may be possible that he may want, but the cost is so minimal that it's not going to really add to our.
Thank you very much.
Right after this introduction, I wish I could stay and see the last group present, but I teach a class at 4:30. Thank you all for letting me be a part of this, and thank Lindsay for inviting me to be a part of this. I am, so keep up the great work, you guys are awesome. And now let's meet our final group of Illusense. Group members are Brad Bycraft and Nathan Chan.
You hear me? Yes? Thumbs up. Is everyone ready? Can you guys hear me? Is this okay? Yeah. Okay. And we would like to talk to you today. My name is Brad, and with me here today is Nathan. Now, Illusense is an early development solution to detect and prevent oil leaks. Now, we are entering the oil pipe $1 billion. We are seeking an initial $500,000 investment to get us to an alpha prototype with an expectation to break even in our second year of market entry. lines, there are 2 oil leaks per week in the US. Is that members of the general public are more likely to find a leak? That's not very good either. And this is because the technology that they're employing is leaks. Now, Illusense has a solution that has a 3-pronged value proposition. Some of you might have heard of the Kalamazoo spill in Michigan. Now, this spill happened because there was a pipeline. And this spill cost Enbridge over $1 billion to date. The second value is in public trust. These operators to build new pipelines as well as ensures their license to operate. Protect the environment by preventing these oil leaks, these damaging oil leaks from happening.
Currently, the industry uses what is known as a PIG, or a pipeline inspection gauge, at the line, and they get pushed by oil down the lines. We're not looking at a system that incorporates onto existing PIG infrastructure. The beauty of the technology is we've currently created a bench prototype, and this acts as a development. And whether it's a dent, a pinhole leak, corrosion, each of these images is on. This is not only a leak detection technology or a prevention technology, this is a new line of integrity management. Acoustic analysis. What they're doing is they're listening for leaks. They have one source of it, water hammering, other noise from construction, they get corrupted signals. This stands for magnetic flux leakage. What they're doing is they're measuring the thickness of the wall of their pipelines. The problems with MLF is that they have, to put this in perspective, MLF can have a hole the size of your thumb before they realize there's a leak. Utilizing a laser-based imaging system, we can determine what you're looking at here. You can see ultrasonic has no preventative capabilities. And MLF, well, all leaks. Our IP strategy involves patents as well as trade secrets coming over the next few months. As far as trade secrets, word management as well as image processing. The image library that we're creating will become vital. Now, the advantages. We can detect leaks which are 10 to 100 times resolution. These false positives, which cost operators to ensure there's a leak, we can eliminate this cost. We can also do a 3D decision-making capabilities. We've had our technology validated by the NRC, which is the National Research Council, major milestones to complete to be able to reach market entry in mid-2016 analysis. Second is building an in-house testing facility. Third, working relationships with these picking operators. They have advanced, these are our early adopters, these are going to get us our first customers, that's how we get to market. We're aware of that, we're building those into our milestones and we're addressing them early. Both have backgrounds in engineering and physics, mine's based in lasers. Brad's now here today. Diana, she's in charge of business strategy, and Sean, business development. Rob and Tom Zimmerman's the R&D director at Enbridge. What the market looks like, and how the steps we need to go through to secure corporate sponsorship. Dr. Kirk Madison, the professor at UBC, more importantly is the development center that we've created a relationship with. This is how we're pushing the thing to market and manufacturing. They have 60 plus years of.
So Illusense is going after a growing multi-billion-dollar market. The US oil pipeline maintenance market is valued at $10 billion. There are approximately 350,000 kilometers of pipeline in the pipeline market because it has the highest margins. But we can also expand into both gas. The target market itself is the pigging vendors because they attach our technology to their operators. Now we have had industry interest from both the operators as well as the vendors. Crude oil transporter in Canada, and Buckeye Partners is the largest crude oil transporter in the United States, or licenses the device to the pigging company. From there, they attach the device pig to the pipeline operator. The pipeline operator takes the pig, puts it down their line vendor. The pigging vendor then sends the data through our servers, gets it back, and then they deliver a report to the pipeline operator. Now, Illusense generates two to sell the device to the pigging vendors. The second one is in a licensing model where we charge a yearly plus a royalty rate on net sales. So how do all three of these parties start with Illusense here? So for technology sales, building this device costs Illusense about 5 years for this. And we can mark up the price from 100 to 150. Licensing model, each device would be charged $200,000, $65 per kilometer, or approximately a 9% royalty rate. And this would have the device paid back within 7 months. What about the pigging? Buy one of these devices, Over a 5-year period, they can garner, and for a licensing model, the average cost to pig a line is $20. Our technology to their pig will allow them to increase this by $500 or more per kilometer of 24%. And the pipeline operators can help them detect faults early. It can save them over $980,000. Now the following projected revenues are based on current. Now if everything goes to plan, we will be hitting the market mid-2016. Get a revenue of just under $1 million, get grants just under $1 million, as well as a net income just under $1 million. And this is because of the grants there. Now this is for 3 licensed devices to 1 vendor for a market share of about 17. We would really expect things to ramp up. And this would be by selling 2 devices and through multiple picking vendors. For this, we would expect to realize a market share of Illusense with $6.8 million in net income. Now what about 28? Exit or growth? Now for an exit, it would be through an acquisition. Over 5 years is just around 4 times at the start of 2018. And to grow, we would do a Series B funding, where we get a VC investment and really push Illusense into international as well as further into the US path, would significantly increase both revenues and profits. High demand, and I'd like to leave you with one last quote from the industry. If we find technology capability, cost will not be a factor. Thank you very much.
Great presentation. Technology. So this is a backscatter technology using the laser.
So some of this still is under IP, which hasn't been fully registered, so no problem.
That's fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, it will compromise our IP.
All right, so let me ask, I'm trying to guess the one thing, what are the practical use? What is?
Sure, I could answer that. So there are, you're asking about
using your, well, I'm not gonna say it, using the technique that you've got.
Yeah.
What is the thing that's used?
So why is it not used right now? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Why is it?
Sorry, can you repeat the very last part of the question?
Okay.
Just the very last.
You know, this technology's been out there for a long time. This is a huge problem. Why hasn't the industry adopted a laser technology?
They're using video cameras. So they light up the inside of the pipe, and then they just send a video camera down and try to find things, because they want to do a cheap, quick way to try to find big or small leaks. And they don't have anything this precise. So they're just trying to do it as quick as possible.
In comparison to the techniques that also don't have the resolution or accuracy that you guys have, using your technique.
So these would be on the same devices that would have down the line. Now, when you do pigging, what happens is you send the device all the way down the line, and it gets stored on board. Afterwards, it gets sent to a pigging device. So there's a long period of time to give you a full analysis. But what they do is within a couple of days here that you need to look at, like right now. So they have that, and that's the kind of time period there. So it's the same as other technologies for the time period.
And you can run at the same speed as the fastest pigging technology.
So that sounds like a significant amount of data that you're collecting as you're going down. So, and then, because you only get to look at it after it's all the way through.
Yeah, so the advanced algorithms, there's a lot of data we don't need. So we can get rid of a lot of data as we're going along. So that isn't an issue anymore.
Very good.
Other questions? Ron?
To this one. The cost savings to the pipeline operators.
Sure.
I'm assuming that's pure.
These are actually numbers that are from some integrity searches. So it broke, and it cost them $1 million to actually repair that pipeline, over 2.7 kilometers. And then repair it over that section only costs $12,600. So here's actually, if you look at the third one down, you get pipeline replacement. So they can save, like, this is when a fault is detected on the line, and they would go down and them to have to take out the pipeline and repair it because it's screws the integrity of the rest of the line.
So I think that, I guess my confusion here, but it looks like what you're showing here is your benefit per kilometer. This is the benefit per identification of the problem.
Yes.
To the pipeline. Okay. We're not benefiting $1 million for every kilometer.
No.
Okay.
It's only when something is found.
Other questions?
Okay, your capital investment is pretty large. How would you kind of leverage that?
So that's a very good question. So if you look at the first grant is a matching grant. So you already have to have the money to be able to get that grant and help us get this forward. So the $25,000, what it would do for us is it would actually help us, and they would be able to get $50,000 from IRAP back after we spend the money. Our in-motion proof of technology to be able to get angel investors. Our IP portfolio in places that aren't covered by the PTO, such as Saudi Arabia. So they're
very good. And, okay, do they use pigs on do they use pigs on gas and water pipelines also?
Yes, they do.
So those are actually big markets. Brad touched on it briefly that can still go after. I like that. Is a lot of those issues aren't the same with water, so it's one that causes the most damage at this point. Has the most need.
All right, thank you very much. Please let me make a few reminders. People's choice. Submit your pieces of paper, your listings to Christine. Global guest. Pick up your luggage with the bell staff outside the front lobby. Bus leaves at 4:30. And the award ceremony at 7. Any questions? Amazing.